the world.
Hello and welcome to the Swine Brothers Show, episode 156 for July the 21st, 2018. You can get in contact with us at Cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com. Facebook is Swine Brothers, and Twitter, for some reason, is Swine Brothers 666. I am described by one person as the Jeremy Clarkson of heavy metal, Elliot Lindemood, and my co-hosts are the Hamster.
I am the Jim on the eternal wheel of dear God, why?
And I guess Danimon would have to be James May. She's a little bit more careful than us.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. She said that she has a hard time keeping up with intellectual conversations like what we have.
Sometimes.
And I'm like, really? We're fucking retarded.
Yes.
Yes, but so am I, so it evens out.
If you're wondering about the joke, people, I was once called the Jeremy Clarkson of metal because, as I told Jim earlier, I'm fat, I'm loud, I'm tall, and I'm over opinionated. And I'm the host of the show. So, on a packed program tonight, we have all the usual features. Let's start with the first feature, which is an article. We have articles.
Metalocalypse director Jon Schnepp has passed away.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, I like Metalocalypse. It's funny because I loved Metalocalypse when I was 12, 13 or whatever. And I wasn't sure how when I got older, I wasn't actually sure how the metal community felt about Metalocalypse. I still liked it. I still thought it was funny, if not a little bit, the music's a little bit okay, the music is basically junk food for metalheads. Basically
it's fun and it's nice, but it's convenient.
I prefer the second and third album to the first one because the first album was a lot more just sort of standard.
Well, there was a lot of stuff on the TV show, so.
Well, yeah, the second and third album was more like a band coming into its own. Whereas, I'll admit, Jim doesn't. I don't know if he really liked, but I like Death Clock. But I was wondering how he'd feel about Metalocalypse. Apparently, he likes it. So.
Yeah, I was worried about that too because I know I love Metalocalypse, and I was really worried that Jim would think I was a poser or something for it.
Yeah, it sort of varies. I mean, I know people who don't like the music, or
there's a lot of appreciation there because it's like, oh, well, that was like a Lars moment there. Oh, that was a Mustaine moment there. And you see what they're satirizing. Oh, wow, that's like, Axl Rose. I don't know why you're including him, but okay.
They're satirizing.
That was like a fucking week-long bender done by Gigi Allen.
They're satirizing celebrity culture and sort of metal cliches and what people think are metal cliches or whatever. And a lot of people take it too seriously or whatever. I know some people who don't really like the music but like the show, and I know some people who think the show's garbage but actually like the music. So, but yeah, Jon Schnepp was a good director.
Yeah, Schnepp directed many episodes of Metalocalypse and wrote Slayer's recent Repentless comic. Comic book nerds might recognize him as the guy who did The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, based on 90s Superman movie that never was with Tim Burton.
Unfortunately, shockingly overrated director, Tim Burton. But
Unfortunately, John suffered a massive stroke. His brain stopped functioning, and it was at the point where he would never be himself. Sadly, his longtime partner and sister decided to pull the plug on John's life. I like how they don't have a comma here, so it looks like the partner and sister are the same person.
Which is the right thing to do. I'll even refrain from making a joke about his brain stopped functioning, so he started buying Lady Gaga records.
Yeah.
Which,
of course, that's why you had to pull the plug right there. He's buying Lady Gaga.
Yes, and by the way, notice I said I'll refrain from saying what I just said.
Nice.
I'm afraid from being offensive, as I'm being offensive.
Well, I believe there was mention of you being retarded earlier, so.
There's always mention of me being retarded. The three things I'm called, like retarded, idiot, and by one person, very gentle and loving, but that's another story.
Holly posted this heart-wrenching message to social media. It is with a broken heart that the Schnepp family and I must announce the passing of our beloved Jon Schnepp, who died peacefully on July 19th, 2018. Jon ultimately succumbed to the effects of a massive stroke. He had a blood clot removed from his left corroded artery. Carotid, yeah.
If you'd like to read the news, please write at I am not dyslexic to cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com.
Oh, come on, it's great.
I know, I love it.
But the bleeding could not be stopped. Irreparable and catastrophic damage was caused to both hemispheres, and all brain activity ceased. His sister Deborah and I had to make the difficult decision to take him off the life support.
Which is, I mean, it's a very difficult decision, but probably the one for the best.
Yeah.
There was no possible way for him to recover. Please understand. I spent the last hour.
Somebody would do that for me if I ever had that happen.
Yeah, I don't want to be like, you hear about people laying in comas for 30 years or whatever. I don't. If they suspect that my already incredibly low intelligence has gotten even lower, just fucking shoot me. Don't even bother unplugging the machine. Just and then just have the machine pumping blood and life into my bullet-ridden brain.
Mr. Frontmen is iron lung. I go to see him every day.
Fun stuff. So yeah, it's sad, and we should all watch Metalocalypse in his honor. By the way, I told Jim this online, but I haven't told Adam on this. I have a policy that I sort of stole from Top Gear. If one of us should die for whatever reason, what'll happen is, well, first, especially if Jim dies, I'll have to find a new newsreader.
Yeah.
God damn it. So don't die. But if one of you were to die, we would start off the show. I have an announcement to make. Dan has died of blah 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 blah. Anyway, and continue with the show as is.
Well, yeah, life always moves on after you die. I mean, it's stupid to assume otherwise.
And if I die, I expect Jim or you to do the exact same thing. Elliot Linwood has died in a car accident. Anyway, on to the show.
He has died in a car accident because he was driving. Remember, he is the blind kid.
Anyway.
Don't drive blind kids.
Yes.
That can always be worse. I could tell you, take the wheel. What?
While
I'm working the pedals, it's like, we're gonna die.
The one time you said you were in the hospital for whatever, I was hoping I get to say anyway. Oh, he didn't die. That's what good friends are for. I get to say anyway. Finally.
I spent the last hour of his life with him, holding him, laying my head across his massive chest, kissing him, stroking his hair, playing his favorite songs, and telling him over and over again how much I love him. My life has forever been changed by Jon. I feel endlessly grateful to have shared 16 years of laughter, love, and incredible adventures together, including the making of a feature film, as well as a television series that I hope to complete and release later this year in his honor. Ooh.
I do hope that if I die, whoever writes my obituary or eulogy or whatever the hell it's called is incredibly humorless or humorous. I will haunt you forever if you don't make fun of me. He is dead. Ha ha ha! Blind idiot.
He is dead. He died of dysentery. He literally just shat himself to death.
He shat his own organs out of his ass.
Along the Oregon Trail. We will not miss him because we just got to make it there in time.
Leave him. Leave him.
The vultures are picking him apart now. The end.
Story of my life. You're picked up by random vultures?
Yep. Jon's mother, Miriam, his father, David, his sister, Deborah, and I are devastated beyond measure. We appreciate your love and support, and most importantly, your understanding of our privacy at this time as we grieve. Thank you, Holly Payne.
Well, yeah, I mean, so.
Sadly, there are still massive medical bills to cover the matter. If you have anything to spare, you can do so at the link provided in this article.
Yeah, so donate if you can, because it's for a worthy cause. Because the worst thing you could do in American like society is get sick and die.
Exactly. And leave the debt to someone else.
Yes.
And that's why I say just donate me.
I have plans for you.
Yes, you're going to compost me and grow pot out of me and then sell the pot.
And then I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to shave, get the skin off your face and make death masks.
Oh, yeah. Great. Corne Frontmen has crazy, heavy black metal jungle shit album ready to go. What? How do you jungle shit into black metal? What?
I'm guessing it'll either sound like Dimmu Borgir or Roots. So it'll either be symphonic and watered down, or it'll be like Roots by Sepultura mixed with black metal.
Jonathan Davis is nothing if not prolific lately.
Oh, yeah. Prolific doesn't actually mean good. It just means he's cranked out shite.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I do that sometimes.
And then the Deathclaw jammed its massive 300-foot cock up her ass.
Hemipines. Have you ever seen a lizard hemipine?
No.
No.
It's like two dicks at once, only they have like little flowery type ends on them. It's not very pleasant.
The more you know.
He just released his brand new solo album. He's working on a new Korn album, and apparently he's got some stuff sitting around he'd also like to release.
Off topic a little bit, but I just had a horrible thought. Korn's been around long enough and has released so many albums that people probably consider them a classic or legacy band these days.
Yeah, probably.
Are you ready? God. I had to put up with listening to too much fucking shit. One of which is what he calls a crazy heavy black metal jungle shit album that he's had sitting around since 2014.
I don't even have words for this except for I'm going to review it, obviously, and I will definitely tell you if it's. I can't even just crazy heavy black metal jungle shit.
He says he wants to release it, but just hasn't had the time to sit down and plot it out yet. I've done stuff with Trap, I just haven't released it yet. And I did this crazy heavy black metal jungle shit. I don't know when that'll come out, but I did that in 2014. I've been doing shit that just sits. I have a huge vault. I've just got to figure out how to release it and do it right.
He's done trap music, which is apparently like very bad rap for idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I kind of don't care if it's good or not. I just want to hear whatever Davis is referring to as crazy heavy black metal jungle shit. What the hell does that even mean? Which is what I was saying, but I don't care if I hear it. I probably will, just to say whatever.
I need to hear it. I know I'll be let down. I know I'll be, whatever. It's
if your expectations are low, how can you be let down?
My expectations for Obama were nothing, and I was even let down by him. So you expect nothing and get let down. I mean, I did actually seek out a band formed by that horrible screamo band, Bullet for My Valentine, the lead singer, who he described the band as, quote, metal as fuck. So I knew what I was getting myself into, but I had to see what he meant by metal as fuck. Um, it's Pantera for people who think Pantera is too heavy.
Okay. Onward to some local news for me. Greed came over me. 8 million in rarities stolen from Pittsburgh Library.
Jim, why did you do that?
A 1787 first edition book signed by Thomas Jefferson. A rare copy of the Journal of Major George Washington. A version of Isaac Newton's Principia, among the most influential books in science, said to be worth $900,000. The archivist, who oversaw a special collection of rare books at the Central Library in Pittsburgh, walked out of the building with these and other items, sometimes in plain sight, and sold them to a local bookstore owner.
Nice.
In a scheme that lasted nearly 20 years.
Nice. Hey, do you want to buy this? Where'd you get that? You know what? I'm not even going to ask.
There's a lot of money here. 20 years is a good run for enjoying that kind of money, too.
Oh, yeah, because, with our luck, any of the three of us tries any of that shit, we'd be caught within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you got away with, like, shoplifting and stuff, but still.
But this is a whole new level. I mean, a first edition book signed by Thomas Jefferson.
Well,
Journal of Major George Washington.
that and if I had gotten away with shoplifting for several years as I did, after a while I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna stop because I have a weird feeling all my good luck has just run out. And the next time I do it, I'm gonna be in prison for life for some reason. So
the library archivist, George Priori, 61, and the bookstore owner, Jon Schnepp, 54, were arrested on Friday on numerous criminal charges, including theft and criminal conspiracy.
nice.
They were accused of trafficking several hundred rare books, maps, and other items worth more than $8 million in total.
See, I mean, wouldn't you be? I'll tell you why I wouldn't do it. Because I get paranoid because I overthink things, and I think someone's going to notice these things are gone. Someone's going to. I mean, who cares if you shoplift a game console from a store which has a shitload of them? If you first generation or a book signed by Thomas Jefferson, someone's going to notice that's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do? The rats ate it. That's what you said last time.
I rubbed my balls on it. It's for good luck. And my ball sweat's the most corrosive substance on the planet, therefore it disintegrated.
But yeah, so I get paranoid and like I don't have the balls to do that. I just like someone. I mean, like I said, shoplifting in a store is fine because even if there's one even if there's only one, whatever. But if it's a first generation copy of a book or something.
More than $1 million worth of items, including the Newton volume, have been recovered. Even in the niche world of rare book dealers, the value of the items stolen is stunning, said Michael Vinson, a dealer based in New Mexico who is a member of the Antiquarian Booksellers Association of America.
Yes, a bunch of old men who compare notes on books and stuff. Probably don't actually read the books, they just compare notes on the books.
This is a huge deal, he said, noting that most rare book dealers have an annual sales between $500,000 and $1 million.
Meaning they sell like 3.
Yeah. Mr. Priori, the archivist, could not be reached for comment on Friday night. A lawyer representing him did not immediately respond to an email.
And when he did, it just said "fuck off."
Mr. Schulman did not respond to requests for comment. His lawyer, Robert G. Del Greco Jr., told the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette that his client was a titan in the book community. The complaint sets forth serious allegations, and we are treating them as such.
See, if a lawyer responded to quote like, we'd like to get a quote from your client. Fuck off. I would trust that person.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a quote from the newspaper? Suck my balls. But you're a woman. You don't have any.
Well, maybe she does. You gotta remember, we live in today's day and age. Dun dun dun.
No, she's like, I'm gonna grow balls for you to suck.
Is that a hard drive filled with 3 terabytes worth of she-male porn?
No, it's a hard drive full of 2 terabytes of music and videos, unfortunately. Although I did send my friend, there's a website called Torrent Day, and I was looking at their biggest torrents, and their biggest torrent is 2 terabytes worth of porn, with no idea what was actually on there. I just sent it to my friend as a joke, and he said he actually downloaded it. And he said there's actually some good stuff on there, but most of it's just, boring crap. But I was like, you actually downloaded 2 terabytes of porn.
That's a goal. Wow.
That's nice.
I mean, I could see having that much, like, for a personal collection or whatever, but actually going and downloading it would be like,
in one file too. That's the best part. Well, I sent it to him.
God.
I sent it to him as a pure joke. I was like, hey, look at this. And he did it.
The partnership between Mr. Priori and Mr. Schulman began in the late 1990s, according to the affidavit filed by the Allegheny County District Attorney's Office, which investigated the case.
Allegheny County. Alfred Packer was born there. He was the only person convicted of cannibalism in American history. There are other people who've been accused of it, who have admitted to it, but he was the only person ever actually convicted of it.
Tasty.
Great story, by the way. Look it up, Alfred Packer. Great story.
I remember that guy.
Yep, from in Cannibal the Musical.
He went. Well, no, he went out into the woods out into the desert with a bunch of people and came back alone, and everybody was like, "Yeah, what happened?"
Well, he was going to Colorado.
It was in the 1800s.
He was going to Colorado as a minor. He went from Utah to Colorado, and yeah, there's a whole thing. Just look him up.
I've read it. I've seen it before. It's just I didn't quite get it at first.
Yeah, but Jim hasn't, because he's.
No, yeah, Alfred Packer's a fucking great story.
Oh yeah, and Jim will be looking that up because I will force feed it to him. Don't worry, it's not the manifesto. It's much more fun.
No, it's really fun.
Because the last thing I force fed him was the manifesto.
Mr. Priori told the authorities that he approached Mr. Schulman about selling some books in the library, but that Mr. Schulman later goaded him on. We need to sell more. This is great. Need another yacht.
Come on. Yeah, come on. I gotta make a fucking boat payment. Come on.
Mr. Priori was the sole archivist of the collection of rare books, maps, and other items at the Carnegie Library.
Well, that makes it even worse because you steal
it can
something.
Only go back to one person now.
I'm surprised it lasted 20 years. Someone must be really fucking incompetent or just not care. I mean, because maybe no one looks at that thing. Maybe no one cares about Thomas Jefferson because they just want to look up porn on the library computer, which I have seen done before. I thought it was hilarious.
He oversaw about 300,000 items in the collection and controlled who had access to it.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. I mean, you could plausibly blame, but of course he got caught. So I don't know. There's too many drawbacks for me. I would not have done that. Mr.
Schulman and his wife own Caliban Bookshop a block or so from the library. He dealt in rare books and was listed as a member of the Antiquarian Booksellers Association of America. Over the years, Mr. Priori told the authorities he removed items from the library. Sometimes he used an X-Acto knife to remove part of a book. Other times, he simply carried out a whole book or map.
Oh, I'm just stealing. Just don't worry about me. I'm just stealing. I
Dropped
love
them off at the
stealing.
Caliban bookshop on
I
his way.
love taking things.
I love stealing. I love taking things. Yep.
Thank you.
Classic Bender.
Yes.
Classic Bender.
Yes, we need Bender to co-host this show.
Mr. Schulman paid the archivist up front, records show, then sold many of the items, including some to major book dealers.
I mean, it's a great scam. It worked for 20 years, and then I don't know. Maybe he took the wrong thing, or maybe someone caught him, or.
From 2010 to 2017, Mr. Priori received about $117,000 in checks from Caliban Bookshop, according to the affidavit. Mr. Priori also deposited $17,000 in cash into his account in that time period.
The funny thing about shoplifting is we knew when we were, because we used to do it to CD store, but we knew we went to buy CDs because we had a friend who was the clerk, and he would sort of send us like a, oh no, we don't have that out. Maybe you can shoplift it tomorrow. I was like, okay, we're because what that meant was, oh yeah, they're on to us, and we had to actually buy shit. So we would buy like a couple CDs, and then because he didn't care, he was just like, yeah, you know that they know you, so buy shit, man. So fun stuff.
Mr. Vincent, who was acquainted with Mr. Schulman professionally, said it is possible that other dealers did not ask Mr. Schulman where he got the books because dealers rarely share the source of their merchandise.
Well, yeah, it's probably a really shady play. I mean, especially when you're dealing with things like that. There's probably a lot of forgeries and a lot of very shady,
They know him. They trust him. They don't have to ask him any questions about it because he's trading on that trust he's built up over so many years, Mr. Vincent said.
And plus, if you ask fucking questions, you're gonna wake up sleeping with the fucking fishes.
It is unclear how much money Mr. Schulman made from the deals. Mr. Priori told authorities that he used the money to stay afloat and help pay for tuition for his 4 children. I'm trying to be the good guy here, but I stole the books.
Well, I was telling Jim about this, and he sort of dismissed it or whatever because he was working. But I was doing some research into movies made in the 1930s with the Great Depression and movies made in 2009-10 with the recession. And don't worry, this is relevant. Movies in the 1930s were about, they glorified gangsters, con men, and people who, did whatever they could to survive, regardless of whether it broke laws that they didn't care about. In 2009 or 10, they made a movie called The Intern or The Internship or some son of a bitch. And the reward for whatever the movie was, I didn't see it, was the guy got to work at Google. So, this would be a much better plot for a recessionary movie. Guy steals books to survive or whatever. But no, we're satisfied with dreaming of being a cog in someone else's wheel. But it would be like if someone made a movie in the Depression where a guy's dream was, a guy won, a factory job at Ford, making like $2 a day or whatever. And yeah, I know that's reality, but this is the movie. This isn't supposed to, this is supposed to be your dreams and fantasies.
Oh, heck, we also had the Grapes of Wrath written and shit.
Yeah, but I'm just,
I mean, what was the most, heart-wrenching story written about the fucking recession?
Yeah, the one, yeah. Exactly. But so basically, what I was saying is, wow, how we've changed. We used to want to be independent and, fuck the law. We was, we're out for ourselves. Now we just want to work at Google. So yes, but what I'm saying is, someone make a movie about this guy.
Our tales of hardship have gone from we have to eat our own horse, we have to bury grandma on the roadside because we just got to keep going and look for work anywhere. Oh God, we're getting the shit beat out of us because we're homeless.
Or the original Godfather.
Oh my God, you said faggot, and that's what's supposed to be upsetting.
Well, yeah, exactly. In our dreams or our idols, the original Godfather, which was made in the 30s, or Scarface, I'm sorry, which was made in the 30s. To I get to work at Google for minimum wage, or maybe just a little bit, but I still have no actual freedom. Yay!
Yeah,
I'm a cog in the wheel, rather than I'm in charge of a crime family.
I should have never done this, he said. I loved that room my whole working life, and greed came over me. I did it, but Schulman spurned me on. Mr. Priorby said he stopped selling in late 2016 because he learned that the library was going to do an appraisal of the collection next year.
Yeah, they're gonna do the appraisal. Why is all this shit missing? Rats. Yeah, rats. Rats ate them.
Appraisers discovered missing items in books that had been cannibalized, with entire portions removed.
Well, that's your fucking. Why would you?
Priori was fired in 2017. Susan Thines, a spokeswoman for the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh, said in a statement that the library was grateful the investigation had ended with arrests. She added, however, we are deeply disappointed that at the center of this case are two people who had close, long-standing relationships with the library.
She also said, by the way, Limp Dick, if you come around this library again, I'm gonna cut off your balls and force feed them to you.
Yes.
But they had to edit that part out.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Vincent said the news of the charges was the talk of the rare book community on Friday. The phones are burning up, he said. These were great rarities and treasures, he said. I'm just shocked at the depth of this thing.
I'm shocked he got away with it for so long. But I'm sure he realized he was going to get caught anyway. Once he heard that they were going to do an appraisal, I'm sure I'm sure there was a little voice in the back of your head going, "You're fucked."
Mm-hmm.
But no, maybe it could solve something. You're fucked.
Vegan group sparks backlash for saying chemical pollutants make people gay and transgender.
I gotta love those lovely vegans.
Mm-hmm. A vegan group has sparked outrage for saying being gay or transgender is not a natural and healthy lifestyle choice and is caused by synthetic chemical pollutants.
The best part.
Chemtrails?
The best part is this is from the Independent, a very vegan newspaper in Britain.
Pembrokeshire Vegan Organic, a group which promotes awareness of a vegan and organic plant-based diet and lifestyle, has been bombarded with negative reviews on its Facebook page in the wake of the comments.
Yes, you go from we don't want to eat things with faces on them to chemicals make you gay.
The frogs. That's why they care. It's because all those chemicals are making the frogs gay.
See, I could debunk this. I live in Los Angeles, California, which is not exactly the cleanest city in the world, and I eat fast food and junk food rather constantly. So anyway, I don't even know how many chemicals I ingest.
When people understand that sexual development problems are caused by synthetic chemical pollutants, then they can accept how teaching gender in schools is promoting the most backwards and corrupt system possible.
Yes. Jim, I hear you live in a fairly polluted state.
Yes, it's glorious.
So you're gay, apparently, or transgender.
I am Toaster.
Yes, he used to be Jan Thompson, and then he...
The promotion of gay and trans is the promotion of sexual development disorders caused by environmental pollutants and media and educational manipulation. The promotion of homosexuality and gender at children tries to promote the view that transgender and homosexuality are natural and healthy lifestyle choices, which is not true.
So basically, they're just saying what the right says, just in a vegan context. Because I've debated people on the right about this, like, all the time. And I said, basically, it's none of your business. Why do you care? And they go on this spiel.
It is not clear what the vegan group means by teaching or promoting gender, but it insisted teaching gender was wrong and will harm and confuse children.
Yeah, I don't get that either. I mean, because my daughter is like constantly asking me if boys can have long hair or if they can wear makeup, and I pointed out to her Behemoth. I was like, that's everything, all of the above right there, right?
Or King Diamond, or
It's not like I'm showing her, transgender people in order to prove to her or to, force her to believe in that stuff, because that's her job, not mine. When she grows up to have her own.
A lot of people are against things like, talking about transgender to young kids or whatever, but I don't think it really matters, because if you're smart enough, even as a kid, you can make up your mind.
I mean, you'll get it. You'll figure it out. My kids do. That's why I don't answer any question or promote anything to them unless they absolutely want to learn.
I mean, when I didn't know what gay was until I was like 8 or 9 years old. It's like, oh, so other guys like other guys and girls like other girls. That's
not a problem. Yeah.
I don't really care. Or in transgender. So some people think they're born in a different body and they don't want to be guys or girls. I don't really understand.
Some people don't believe that bisexuality is even a thing.
Well, no, but the whole thing about transgender is like, I don't really understand that feeling, but they're not hurting me.
And it's not hurting nothing. So why would
they're not hurting. They're not hurting me. They're not doing anything to me. Whatever. So, but a lot of people, they're brainwashing our children. It's like, I'll show you brainwashing. I will turn your children into time cube worshipping religious zealots that will suicide bomb your ass for time cube.
Time cube.
And Jim will enjoy that until he gets suicide bombed.
Yes. None should be hated or attacked for being gay or transgender. If people are not harming anyone else, we should all be free to live how we like.
Well, I remember talking to a fairly conservative person because people were upset about a teacher who was out as gay. And this conservative person shocked me. I mean, basically just typical Republican. He shocked me. He was like, well, he's not fucking the kids. He's not hurting the kids. Let him teach. Who cares?
And some people don't do that, though. Some people think that being transgender automatically makes you a pervert.
And the reason it shocked me is because I was like 12 years old and I thought all Republicans were, thought gay people should be burnt alive. I was like, wow, that was an interesting.
Yeah, surprisingly tolerant.
Yeah, that was an interesting. So that, made me question some of the stereotypes I had about conservatives. Granted, a lot of them are true, but some of them aren't always as true as you think they are. Speaking of being gay, and I wanted to bring this up off thing, but I don't know. Well, I don't know if you've been following the whole Trump acting like Putin's little lapdog over there, which I think is hilarious. But people are making memes about Trump and Putin being gay lovers, and people saying that that's homophobic. And my thing is, how homophobic Putin is. He basically said that all gays are pedophiles. So how is basically saying that Putin's a closeted homosexual and attacking him with what he hates the most. How is that actually homophobic again? And the only person who answered the question was that guy Tristan. And Jim, let me just tell you, my dog is a little bit more perceptive than he is.
Yes.
But if you think that's homophobic, write to us. Title your emails. I think Trump Putin gay meme is homophobic, and you're assholes for talking about it at cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com.
I can see how people think it's homophobic because they're using gay to denigrate the president and Trump and Putin,
Well, yeah, but they're only doing
They're using it like an insult, and that's why people think it's homophobic, because you shouldn't have to use gay as an insult.
They're only doing it because Putin, I'm not sure about Trump, but Putin at least thinks that gay is an insult.
Oh, yeah, they hate people.
You have to
hate gay people.
You have to attack him. What?
Also, if you want to make transsexual midget tentacle hentai based off of this meme, please post it online. There's a lot of porn sites that would pay money for that shit.
You have to attack him. Yes, you have to attack him with the language that he knows, and you have to insult him with the things he knows. If I call Vladimir Putin a poser because he doesn't know what metal is, he's not going to care. I mean, you're a poser. You don't know what you think Slipknot's metal. He's not. Well, just Slipknot. So you have to attack him in the language that he knows, and that's a deep insult to him.
There is nothing natural or healthy about wanting to be the opposite sex from what we are born. Transgender is an environmental developmental disorder that is being promoted as natural and normal.
Okay, well, I guess it's been around since like forever then.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I have literally read stories about people in the 1700s who dressed up as opposite sex persons.
Yeah, well, there you
I've
go.
read historical accounts of people who did the same thing to service whoever was emperor at the time because they felt like, fucking little boys dressed up as girls.
And like I said, they're not hurting you. Why do you care? Of course, I saw something quite funny. Speaking of weird thing, other kid people who are claiming to be dinosaurs and saying that their land was stolen from them.
Okay.
I wish I was making this up.
No, you see, but I am also stealing your friends and your ancestors from you every time I fill up my car.
Yes, and you're burning them.
Mm-hmm. Just so I can make it to work on time. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah, I'm even worse. I'm burning them for no other reason than entertainment.
The Vegan Society, which was founded in 1944 and is the oldest of its kind in the world, criticized the group's comments. The view of an individual vegan does not represent how the vegan community as a whole feels on a particular issue.
Well, yeah, that's kind of a given for any community.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you want to be part of a community without you starting it?
My community is simple. We hate people.
I mean, that's the thing. There's no other community other than my weird circle of friends where Jim and Joss would be in the same circle.
Yeah. And then we got my things going on where it's like, oh, yeah, you met fucking Howard Stern.
Wait,
not the Howard Stern, but the guy nicknamed Howard Stern.
Yeah. There you go.
It's important to note that veganism is based on kindness and compassion. Really?
Wait, really? Because all I've gotten from vegans is, do you know how that animal died?
You should die like that animal died.
As far as I remember reading about PETA, they were more concerned about the fact that suicide bombers were using donkeys to blow up shit than they were about the people who actually died being blown up by the suicide donkeys.
Great Kevin Bloody Wilson joke here. He was saying he was at a hotel convention thing, a hotel, and he went to and he ordered food, and this really fat vegan woman sat next to him, and his steak arrived, and she had a huge vegan plate, and she goes, "Do you know how that animal died?" And Kevin goes, "Yeah, you starved it to death, you cunt."
How do you even get fat being a vegan? I honestly don't understand that one.
Sugar?
Eat way too much protein.
No, sugar and shit like that. Yeah, you can get fat being vegan. Shit, all the fat I have probably comes from sugar and fucking potatoes and rice. Oh yeah, you can definitely be fat being vegan. Whatever gluten is,
May
it's in
all of your
everything.
dried goods be literally hopping with silverfish, you Alex Jones tin hat wearing bunch of knobs.
Okay. Just to finish up here. Uh, Gluten, whatever that means. I don't know what it is, but it's apparently whatever
It's a-
makes it's I call it thing. It makes everything taste good, but it's in a lot of non-meat products, and that makes you fat. So yeah, you can definitely be fat without eating meat.
Gluten is a protein.
Yeah, and it's apparently evil, but it makes everything taste good.
Apparently, but only for if you have like celiac disease or something. I mean,
Well, have you ever had gluten-free anything?
I have. I don't eat a whole lot of like bread and stuff like that and starches. We
Oh,
can't actually here because my husband's diabetic, so we have to actually limit how much stuff we eat that has that sort of stuff in it.
yes, I would have to die if I didn't have bread.
Well, I don't like bread myself. I mean,
I would just. You can't eat bread anymore. Don't get away from the window. Don't jump. Oh my God, he killed himself.
Pembrokeshire Vegan Organic hit back with a personal reply to one of the comments, saying, "Nothing hateful here except your review. You should be ashamed for trying to deny the risks associated with synthetic chemicals, even though you don't know anything about the subject."
And you do. You're saying so chemicals. How do these chemicals get in the air, and how do these chemicals interact and make you gay? Whereas other people breathe these same chemicals and marry the opposite sex. And for simultaneous days in one single Earth rotation.
First, let's start with how great and accepting fucking vegans are. Animal Liberation Front bombs meat trucks in string of attacks.
Kindness and accepting.
compassion too, right?
That is so open-minded.
Right, that is.
And so kind and so peaceful and loving.
And yes, I get that not all vegans are like that before you start in with your hate mail, but I'm just saying.
Yes, it's out there. Don't sit there and try to don't sit there and say that's not representative of the whole community, and then try to broad brush it as some great hippie movement whenever.
If you can't be accepted as the sum of the least member of your community, then why the hell would you bother?
Then you might as well jump out a window to your death.
The
Because
animal
as a community, you're going to be seen as the lowest member of everything that you have.
Well, yeah, that's especially if you're not, like utterly mainstream.
The Animal Liberation Front has bombed a fleet of meat trucks and carried out a string of other attacks around the world. Its underground cells raided premises in Spain, Germany, Sweden, the Netherlands, and the Czech Republic.
And PETA has ties with the ALF, by the way.
Mm-hmm. In Spain, activists blew up 10 trucks owned by a meat business in Austria's Oviedo.
I have a problem with this. I don't care if you blow up humans. Why do you have to blow up the poor little trucks? What did they ever do to you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. Why do you have to get the trucks involved in
That
this?
looks like it would have sounded nice. Just looking at the charred wreckage here.
I mean, that's me. I've literally watched a movie and not cared about the humans, but been like, they killed a car. Aw, they killed a car. Why'd you have to kill a car?
That's how I feel when the guys from Pacific Rim get all beat up. The Jaegers.
Well, it's like
I don't even like giant robots, but I fucking love Cherno Alpha, and they got their ass handed to them. It was sad.
It's like my mother doesn't like it when dogs die in movies or whatever. And it's like, fuck dogs. They killed the truck.
In Germany, ALF activists entered and severely damaged private property of free domestic pigeons from their sheds. In Sweden, activists carried smashed and knocked down wooden hunting towers in remote areas. In the Netherlands, an ALF team wearing balaclavas broke into a chicken farm and stole 26 chickens.
I'm going to steal your chicken.
In the
And that's
Czech
not they could
Republic,
shoot you before back in the day.
They probably all in America. They do it for you now. Y'all ain't getting my chickens.
In the Czech Republic, an ALF cell entered a farm in East Bohemia at night and stole 10 hens. Following the bombing in Spain, an ALF spokesperson said, "Our objective is to cause as much damage as possible to those who profit from the enslavement of others."
Animal enslavement.
I guess they think that animals are people now?
Animals are people too. Meat is murder, but fish is justifiable homicide.
We hope they feel on their own skin the insecurity that our non-human comrades feel from the first day they are born until they are murdered.
Yeah, but think of it this way: it's the circle of life. They get murdered and transformed into something altogether more pleasing. Have you ever petted a chicken? It pecks at you and is just really rude and not very well mannered.
We bred them for food, not for personality.
Jim knows about that. He took a chicken into his kitchen when he was a kid.
No, I took it to my grandmother asking for chicken soup, and she just pulled out a can of Campbell's, and I felt stupid.
Well, yeah, and I bet the chicken wasn't best pleased.
No, it was not pleased.
Why call me you prick?
We hope that the necessity to seep with an eye on fear of all vehicle fleet burning down will make them stop with their lucrative business. The press has kept quiet about it, but this isn't the first time they try to cover up the different actions against businesses that benefit from animal use.
Oh yes, we're going to stop our lucrative business because you killed a couple trucks.
Yeah, that is not how it works.
No.
We
must bring attention to this. Nah, fuck you. We'll just start eating you next.
We need the car to be real. I don't know if you ever seen the movie The Car, but it makes Christine look like tame. It was a Cadillac that was possessed by Satan and it would run people over. We need that movie to come true. I'm going to say, and this is, I don't actually expect anyone to take my advice. That's illegal. But if you see vegans, standing there on a street, protesting or whatever, and you're in a car, and they're in front of you,
the ALF says its main aim is to liberate animals from what it calls places of abuse, such as laboratories, factory farms, fur farms, zoos, aquariums, and circuses.
And houses, apparently. But yeah, if you see these people like in front of you and you're in a car, you plausible deniability.
It was named as a terrorist group by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security in January 2005.
Preferably with a Hummer. I mean, you don't want to do it with like a Honda Civic. I mean, you won't really do much with a Honda. Not that I'm actually.
You need like a 1980s, 1970s big old truck, where you can just hit something and keep going.
Land Rover Defender.
There you go.
Not that I'm advocating murder here. Yes, I am. Do it.
Transgender woman who attacked two people with axe heard voice telling her to kill, maim, and inflict pain on people.
Well, I think we found a new god or goddess or something. Not quite sure how that works, but
the whole deity.
I respect I respect anyone who hears voices in their head telling them to kill and obeys.
Especially if they're going to attack people with an axe.
Yes,
I mean, that's just a bonus level right there.
Valorous is pleased. If you don't know what we're talking about, boy, if you're missing out.
The voices command and I obey. A transgender woman who attacked 2 people with an axe in a 7-Eleven in Australia heard a voice that told her to kill, maim, and inflict pain on people.
Do it, mate. Do it. Kill those bloody dingoes.
Evie Amati claims she does not remember the brutal assaults which took place in the inner Sydney suburb in January 2017. She said in court on Thursday that she had smoked cannabis at her home.
Marijuana. If marijuana would actually cause me to hear voices,
I think a lot more people would be smoking it.
I would be smoking. I didn't even like pot, to be honest. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it didn't really do much for me either.
She said that
it was fun, but it just never really. But yeah, if pot made me hear voices that made me go axe crazy, I wouldn't be here right now.
She said she had drank vodka and took a pill that may have been ecstasy as well.
Vodka makes me throw up, and ecstasy just makes me want to like hug everything, which is annoying. I don't want to hug things. I want to kill things.
Amati plunged into a depressive episode, she said, because she thought a woman she met on Tinder and her housemate were talking about her being transgender.
Okay.
After the disappointing date, she said she started hearing voices. They stopped being whispers. They started being actual words, she said in court, according to the newspaper. I started seeing the violent visions. Wow. I'm echoing. I was echoing.
Yeah, I know. That wasn't me.
I started seeing some of the violent visions I'd seen previously of me running at police with the axe and being shot dead.
Those are fun visions.
She said
I have those about once. I have visions about that once every like 3 days, and it's sort of I sort of like to think of them as what my future would be if things didn't go the way they were. Which, granted, I have to be in hell for 3.5 years for that, but you know, part of me is sort of glad that it turned out the way it did.
She said a voice told her to kill, maim, and inflict pain on people and start the rise of hell on Earth.
Yes, yes, yes.
Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Surveillance video shows Amati talking to a man near the 7-Eleven counter before she suddenly attacks him. She then strikes a woman who's trying to leave the convenience store. Amati was found unconscious near the store and was taken to a hospital. At that stage, had you any idea of the damage you'd done to persons by your body's actions? No, she responded.
I hear voices about every day telling me to kill Jim, and I keep telling them he's in Pittsburgh. I'm not flying all the way to Pittsburgh to throw my life on him. And they go,
she wanted to write an apology to the victims, but was advised against it by her lawyer. It was the worst day of my life, she said in court. To think I'd put other people's lives in danger made me feel so ashamed of myself. They were innocent. They did nothing to deserve what happened.
Yes, they did. They weren't innocent. Nobody's innocent.
So she was mortified enough by people talking about her being transgender that it caused a psychotic break, yet at the same time didn't get a psychotic break when she was denied writing them an apology letter.
And then she gets sane again, and then she regrets being awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Pussy. Ah, God.
But yeah, no one's innocent. Everyone deserves to suffer.
So it's that damn chemical additives doing this, huh?
It's the chemical additives that turn you into a psychotic.
drank a lot and did a shit ton of drugs and was probably schizophrenic to begin with and decided to go, "Wah!"
Hey, wait a minute. The voices are telling me to do something. Kill Jim Thompson. Kill him. Murder him. It'll be fun.
Florida man bites off brother's penis in defense of his favorite Dragon Ball Z blanket.
Oh, jeez.
See, okay, I have to explain. My screen reader has a British accent, so I had to actually, when he said Dragon Ball Z, because I'm so used to, not that I look it up, but it's on TV tropes or whatever, and I read articles. I'm so used to hearing it called Dragon Ball Z.
That's great. A Florida man walked in on his brother having sex with his cousin.
I'm guessing this is a fake story.
It's Florida Man. It might be, but it might also not be because it's Florida Man.
Yes, it's from Florida man.
It's funny anyway.
To take this already disturbing situation worse, the unholy act was being committed on top of his favorite Dragon Ball Z cover. During the ensuing melee, the Florida man bit off his brother's penis, which, aside from where it had just been, seems to me like to be at least as severe a violation as the very act that sparked the confrontation. Police took him into custody and swiftly booked him, as is evident by the dried brother dick blood on his face in the booking photo.
You've chopped off my dick.
This may be fake, but at least it was short.
I wanted to catch, I don't know if Jim has an article about it, but I just wanted to say, thanks to certain people, right-wing people, I am now legally unemployable.
Yay, how are you legally unemployable?
You heard about that guy who got fired from Guardians of the Galaxy for making jokes years ago?
Yeah.
He gets fired. I haven't seen what the jokes were, but he made jokes years ago. And the guy who kicked by the way, if the guy who kicked this off is called Trump, quote, the people's champion, unquote. So that kind of shows you how delusional he is. But the guy who kicked this off, and I was just thinking, like, so what this means is I could never actually amount to anything more significant than Swine Brothers, because the moment I do, somebody's going to come through my like catalog of material, find this show. That's why you should never go into business for anyone except yourself. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out, that thanks to this show, this will be the only thing I'll ever do for the next however many years I live. Thanks to the guy who did that. And yes, Donald Trump's the people's champion, apparently.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, this is a parody account. Okay.
Well, yeah.
But still, it was fun and entertaining. I had to read it.
Well, yeah, it's funny because I posted something and everyone's like, that's a fake news story. I was like, yeah, I know it's a fake news story. It was funny. Does everything have to be real to just be funny? Although that wasn't very well written.
No, it wasn't.
Good parody accounts actually have like well-written news stories. That was just, yeah. That could have been written by me, which is not good.
Nah, it is not good.
Also, the guy from, what?
Man drops pants, says drugs blessed to him by God.
Drugs are blessed me by God. I have the Holy Spirit in my asshole, and I'm gonna take heroin as much as I want, cause I am your daddy, bitch.
A man accused of dropping his pants in Target before saying drugs at his home were blessed to him by God was arrested, an affidavit states.
So God's parked in a white van and like.
Mm-hmm. Jeffrey Ian McKelvey, 53, was jailed by Martin County Sheriff's officials after the July 11th incident. Investigators went to a Target in Northwest Federal Highway. A manager said a man in his 50s to 60s wearing a gray shirt, dark shorts, and flip-flops was spotted dropping his pants and exposing his genitals. He also knocked stuff off a shelf.
I'm gonna knock stuff off the shelf as I rant about the Lord blessing me with drugs like heroin, cocaine, and crystal meth. If you don't do the drugs, you're a sinner for Satan.
A man identified as McKelvey fit the description was found at a home a little more than a mile away. McKelvey said his teachers told him to go to Target and destroy the items inside the store.
I'm gonna destroy the items inside the store because Target's a sign of Satan.
He also said he dropped his pants and told a person to smooch his buttocks after a confrontation.
I really hope he used those words. Smooch my buttocks.
Marijuana and 11 pipes with THC resin turned up in his home. McKelvey said 2 other people lived with him, but said everything inside was blessed to him by God and that they belonged to him.
Marijuana.
McKelvey was arraigned on charges including exposure of sexual organs, possession of less than 20 grams of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of THC resin.
Fun stuff. Very, very, very fun stuff.
From part of the USA Network. Mm-hmm.
Duckman. Yes, USA. Tens of people watch USA.
Oh, God.
I'd also like to say, Matt Tuck from the aforementioned Bullet for My Valentine thinks that metal has gone stale. To which I reply, what the fuck do you know about metal? You started out playing new metal because that was the cool thing to do, and then you played pop punk mixed with some screamo because that was the cool thing to do. You are, the pop group ABBA is more metal than you.
York Regional Police apologize after a cop tells kids doobies make boobies.
I don't even know what that means. Doobies make boobies. So if you smoke pot, your tits will grow.
Or get man boobs, I guess.
The York Regional Police Service says
I didn't get that with pot, Dano, and I just got that with decades of junk food.
I got that with freaking birth control.
Wait, you got man boobs?
I got that with my ex-wife saying everything had to be a flavor explosion, so she cooked everything in butter. Even though she was anorexic and was looking for excuses to not eat, and she was punishing me for making her eat by making me fat.
and then you just decided, fuck it. Jim, I've come to a conclusion that being fat, you're actually just evolving. You are evolving into another creature, the fat bastard human.
I am reminded whenever I wrote a series of 4 songs about like one of the villains for the Mottler band, and the villain was called the Lord of the Pit. And pretty much what happened was we injected this junkie with weird space drugs. And he just started evil, and we just turned this random crackhead we just made higher than high, and he slowly evolved into a god that we tried to kill, but that we would try to kill, but we wouldn't be able to kill it. So I would say the line, well, if you can't kill it, drug it. So we just injected it with so much drugs, we started playing Atari Pong with its brain.
I just had to say, even though it has nothing but he's on space drugs, and I just had a flashback to giving me space change from Gore. You got some burn shit on your windshield.
Exactly. New York Regional Police Service says they are sorry after a police officer told a number of Catholic high school students that smoking marijuana leads to lower testosterone and growth of male mammary glands.
I've never heard that before. Granted, I couldn't be at a Catholic school, so I tell them. And by the way, watch out for the priests.
Watch out for the nuns; they might be transgender. You might find a cock down there when you
The
go.
funny thing is, I actually know an ex-nun who worked at a. Literally, the story is that she was a nun until she met me and my friends, and then was introduced to a new life of sex, drugs, and metal. But she was telling me about how the priests at her, because she worked at a school, and the priests were mostly fucking the nuns rather than actually fucking the choir boys. But of course, that never happens because they're denied sex or whatever. But yeah, so yes,
you never know what goes on behind the scenes.
Exactly. And I just think it's hilarious. But yes, I've never actually heard this before. It's
pedophile priests are a bit of a rarity compared to those that just fuck the nuns.
Well, yes, and the nuns that fuck each other.
Yeah.
She's telling me about fucking lesbian orgies, and literally they would justify it like, well, God will forgive us in the end. But if you actually tell like a Catholic this, they'll no, they're pure of heart. It's like they're human people.
Yeah, everyone's human. Fuck you. Police attended a drug awareness panel at the York Catholic District School Board headquarters in Aurora on February 16th, where they addressed the health impact of marijuana use.
All that happened with marijuana and health impact was as soon as I smoked pot in school, I met one of my teachers and had to act normal. And my brain went into paranoia mode thinking, oh God, am I acting normal? Am I acting normal? No, dude, it's cool. Well, why are you talking like that? Because I'm just relaxed.
A few years after I stopped doing drugs, I tried to enlist in the Marines, and I was at the MEPS station. And my back cracked. And dear God, did I have the flashback of flashbacks. It was during the fucking psych exam that it hit its fucking peak. And I'm like, tell the guy his face is melting. Don't tell the guy his face is melting. The results of my psychiatric exam were, they trusted me not to kill myself. They trusted me not to kill my fellow soldier. However, when the order to cease fire comes, they didn't think I would.
Oh God, I don't know how he gets so much ammo, but he's just shooting up the world.
Yeah. Where's he going, Private? He's winning the war for us.
Which war? All of them.
There will be nothing to have a war with. World peace will be achieved. He's like, ah!
Wait.
Every time I kill another guy that had ammo on him, just throw it back in my gun. Wait, that's not even the right caliber, but somehow it's still working.
Wait, we're saved. He's out of ammo. Tank. Oh God, he found a tank. Dun, 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 dun. That needs to be a thing. Unstoppable soldier, dude of doom.
According to the media, one media report, an officer reportedly told children that there are studies that marijuana use lowers your testosterone. We call it doobies make boobies. We are finding that 60% of 14-year-olds are developing boobies.
How really? Mature is this? They're calling it boobies.
Well, they're talking to kids, so.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure most kids don't like being told that, treated like they're, small.
Well, I know guys who've smoked weed their whole life and they're fucking skinny as rails.
Anyways, the police spokesman said they wanted to own up to their mistake, saying that the officer misspoke. We're no health experts, but we're pretty sure getting high does not cause enhanced mammary growth in men. We are aware of the misinformation about cannabis that was unfortunately provided to the community by our officers.
Wait, so they're actually admitting. I mean, I thought the police lived to lie about drugs, and that's why marijuana was still illegal because police just lived to lie about the dangers of cannabis. That's actually quite a startling turn of events
Yay.
because I live in LA and I remember in 2010, 2011, mysteriously, right when cannabis legalization was going to be on the ballot, there was a scare story run by the LAPD in Hall about people smuggling cannabis into candy on Halloween, which makes zero sense whatsoever, but whatever. Uh, to try to get your kids to be high. Sure enough, November comes and it loses the the ballot of obviously. So yes, I thought that was cops' job to lie about marijuana.
One
Or maybe,
Ontario one Ontario teacher told a student to lick me where I fart.
or maybe I just live in LA and I'm used to mountains of corruption.
Well, I live in Pennsylvania, and dear God, we are confirmed as the leading number one state and confirmed 100% verified counts of voter fraud. Not just within the past 20 years. Not just the past election, but 20 years worth of
That
elections.
is awesome. Whereas I live in a city that is confirmed to be, I believe, the most brutal and violent police force.
Dum,
So we
ba-da-da-dum.
have voter fraud. Yeah, it is the most corrupt, brutal, and violent police force. So we have voter fraud on one side, and we have violent police on the other. Be proud, Jim.
I am proud.
Los Angeles and
Welcome.
Pittsburgh.
That's why I was surprised when Hillary lost the state. It's like, dude, come on. We're like, champions of voter fraud here. You could have gotten this easy.
I
You just
was
had to bribe
surprised.
two more people. Two more people.
I was surprised marijuana actually got legalized in California because I thought for sure the people who the LAPD and I mean because obviously LA is not the only city in California, but it's a large city. I thought they'd be up to their usual tricks.
hmm A high school teacher in Ontario, Canada, has been suspended for multiple charges of misconduct, including several alleged inappropriate comments she made to students.
What she actually said was, lick me where I fart, you hoser." Hey,
One such comment was, "Why don't you lick me where I fart?" Jennifer Elizabeth Green Johnson teaches grade 10 through 12 at Dunville Secondary School and has been scheduled for a disciplinary hearing on September 23rd for the charges against her.
I think she should be charged with having too many goddamn names.
hmm
I mean, get rid of one. At least get rid of the green. Okay, just get rid of one name. Three's enough. Four's too many.
According to the discipline committee of the Ontario College of Teachers, Green Johnson is coming under fire for the following incidents. She told a student who brought coffee to class to get that fucking thing out of here.
Which is weird because I was never told that because they knew that the only way I could properly function was to drink coffee because although most people didn't know it, most of the time I went to school either drunk or hungover. And most of the teachers knew I was somewhat fucked up and okay, he drinks coffee in class, whatever. Because otherwise he'd just fall asleep and drool on his desk. Because that was literally like it would be like 8 in the morning. Okay, today class we're gonna learn.
2, she called a student a bloody pedophile. What was he like reading lolicon manga? 3, she told a student, "I've never said this to a student before, but fuck you."
Oh,
I knew a kid. I knew a teacher who used to say that, and I also knew a teacher who said, I went to a school and it was Valley College was the school right next to it. I think we've shared the same campus, and she said, oh, you want to go to Valley College, so you have no other aspiration than to learn how to shovel shit for a living. That was one of the all-time great quotes.
She said in class, "It's debate, not masturbate."
Oh.
She
But
told other students in class that a particular student would stare at my daughter's ass. She told a student, "It sounds like your ass cheeks are too close together," after the student made a noise by pressing his lips together.
how
She
old are
told,
these kids? I just want.
this is grade 10 through 12.
Well, whatever. People, the shit I heard when I was in fucking high school, especially like 11th and 12th grade, most of the teachers openly swore in front of us about like, look, okay, look, if you don't pass this test, you're fucked. I was like, noted, and then I failed. So
Yeah, still don't care.
I didn't care because I was already fucked anyway. Because
Right?
so just fuck it.
She told a student, "You mean a bribe? I'd be able to shit for a week because of all that fiber," after the student offered to buy her muffins in exchange for a passing grade.
I knew a teacher, and I never had him as a class, but he knew me, and we would openly discuss how much you would have to bribe a teacher to get a passing grade. And he said, "Well, if you want to get a B, store bought. If you want to get A, has to be homemade." I was like, "You are the." I even told him, "You are the probably the most corrupt teacher I've ever met. You have my respect, sir." Because even back then, I had a thing for corruption.
She stated to students that a female student looked like a frumpy old lady today.
I was but I was told publicly that oh look, Elliot Lindenwood looks like a shit in the wind today, which is a
My
colorful
school
example.
principal said I should not exist in any form of reality.
Well, he was just telling the truth.
Yeah.
You're some sort of weird abomination. I was also told that you are the smartest yet laziest person I've ever met in my entire life.
Who, me? Who said that about me? Oh, you.
No, me. They said it about me.
Uh,
Not you fucker. You're just lazy. Yeah. Smart? If my dog could speak, it'd probably be smarter.
One parent spoke to the John Oakley show, a local talk show in Toronto, saying she was a great teacher who maybe made a couple of bad decisions. I see really no problem with what the fuck she said.
Said teacher also admitted to me. He goes, "So, how we have the parents, in the back, parent teacher conferences," and he goes, "To make them a little bit nicer, I always keep some whiskey handy." And he goes, "And if they want something stronger, I have that too." I was like, I'm talking to someone who's pushing drugs on parents. I really like you now. It's a shame I never had him. We were in different programs. I was in the magnet program, and he was in something else. But yeah, great guy. He used to give me G.G. Allen DVDs.
Green Johnson's comments are not the first time she's come under fire. She was suspended for a month without pay in January 2016 for similar comments she made in 2012 that she pleaded no contest to.
That's why I'm not giving this guy's name away, because I don't want him to lose his job, because he was basically the best teacher anyway. I mean, and he actually did teach the kids stuff. He was actually very smart. It was just that quote, most of the kids are too fucking stupid to understand. So yeah, I accept bribes. And I'm like, why aren't you worried about preparing these kids for everyday life? And he goes, Yeah, so you get an A+ on your test, and that's going to help you with everyday life.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean, yes, I have a general enough knowledge that I probably could make an atomic bomb. I would kill anyone involved in the fucking refining of the uranium. But, yeah, I could probably do that. But that's going to help me with making tacos. How? I make tacos at a fucking gas station. So me knowing, generally how to refine the uranium, the entire process involved, and making the critical mass, the 0.81 centimeter fucking octagons shielding the whole damn thing, the duridium, or was it tritium? I forget which fucking.
Tritium.
Yeah.
I'll give this guy credit. I mean, he was, corrupt and scummy, but it was only because he was a punk, and the cool kind of punk, not the peace punk, but the, I bathe in broken glass type punk. B,
Yes.
he had been teaching for 25 years. He was fed up with stupid kids. I'd seen him with smart kids, and he actually did make an effort to really teach them and show them things that were. But he says, like, if the kids aren't going to learn, I'm not going to bother with caring, because it's like, whatever, fine, you're too stupid to learn, then that sort of thing. So, but it was also quite fun, and but very intelligent. Just it's. Do you remember the fortune teller in Pathfinder, who was just fed up with the world because no one ever took her seriously?
The great destroyers have come. No one takes me seriously, so I don't give a shit. Oh, we like you.
It was exactly like this guy. This guy is like, oh look, they're they're fucking getting Fs in class. Well, they're gonna get Fs anyway. I did the best, so fuck it. She brought me muffins. I'll give her a C.
Yay.
Oh,
According
nice.
to the disciplinary committee of the Ontario College of Teachers, one of the comments she made was to a male student after seeing him wrestle another male student in the hall, saying, "So you like it from behind?"
Oh.
Nice. And I even asked the guy, like, aren't you worried about like the generation? He goes, oh yeah, this generation's gonna suck. And sure enough, prophetic words.
Yes.
But these are high school kids. I don't get. I mean, they hear worse from their friends. What's the big deal?
Despite all the allegations, Green Johnson's rating is just above 2.5 out of 5 on Rate My Teachers, so clearly some students are at least entertained by her class.
If I knew what Rate My Teachers was, oh god, I see. I didn't get to really. I mean, other than the guy I was telling you about, I never really got to appreciate teachers as human beings until after graduation, after I left.
I think ratemyteacher.com is supposed to be more for like college stuff, so that you can understand what a teacher teaches like before you actually take the class and not waste your money.
But I mean, no, it's for high school as well. In fact,
yeah, but I mean, it really is more applicable to college.
I seem to remember, and this might have just been a dream, but I seem to remember someone saying, "Now, don't give us bad reviews on this website because, blah 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 blah." So, but so I didn't really appreciate teachers as human beings, except for that one guy who gave me G.G. Allen DVDs because I didn't really have him as a teacher until I graduated or left school. Because when you're in school, teachers are the authority figures that you're trying to outsmart and avoid at all costs. Or maybe that's just me. Once you leave school and actually talk to them as humans and equals rather than student teacher type thing, it's like, oh yeah, you had to put up with me for 4 years. I'm sorry. I would just like to say to every teacher I actually liked, all three of them, I am sorry you had to put up with me. To the rest of you,
my APB teacher, American Political Behavior teacher in high school, pulled me aside in the last day of class and said, "Just do your damn homework and you'll do fine in college."
And that
And there was a kiss, and the kiss ass behind me was, trying to be teacher's pet, was like, well, don't you have anything to say about me? He's like, no, you're already going to do okay. And like, she was all fucking upset and shit that, like, he had nothing inspiring to say to her, but it was because, she was already going to do okay. Meanwhile, I needed the pep talk and the reality check, which I did not follow.
The funny thing is,
so much class.
Most of the kiss asses were horrible people, and that's why they were kiss asses, because they were horrible students.
Uh-huh.
But it's yeah. So yeah, to every teacher who ever had me that I actually like and respect, I'm sorry. To the ones I don't respect, you can go fuck yourselves.
Uh-huh.
And that's most of you.
A spokesperson for the Ontario College of Teachers told the Toronto Star, "It's pretty unusual for a teacher who has been found guilty of unprofessional conduct to come before us again. The kids need to be slapped more.
The kids need to be slapped with a
tire iron. They need to be slapped with a tire iron. The wedge part of it, so that way you knock out a few more teeth."
As the teacher said, no, they need to be taken. As the teacher said, if G.G. Allen was still alive, I'd organize clandestine field trips and take these little bastards to see his show. Then we'll see how they fucking act. Because most of them will want to be gangsters. Most of them are, I'm so fucking cool. I'm so fucking hardcore. And it's like, yeah, no, you're not. Once the broken glass starts flying, you're gonna be squealing for your mama.
Innocent bystander shot twice on the same street 20 years apart.
Oh, jeez.
Welcome to the world of bad luck.
Yeah, right?
The innocent bystander who was shot in the face following Tuesday's deadly explosion of violence near Staten Island Courthouse has been struck by a stray bullet before, and it happened on this exact same block.
I like being shot in the face. I like being shot in the face.
Fran Williams, 67, who was in critical condition Thursday after getting shot waiting for a bus on Jersey Street in New Brighton, was also shot in 1998 while doing her laundry on the same street.
Welcome to New York.
Right?
Welcome to New York. If you don't got no bullets in you, then you ain't fucking living.
What a shame. Here's an innocent lady getting shot 20 years apart, said a law enforcement source. Even during the crack days, drug dealers didn't have that bad of luck.
Right? Even I haven't had this bad luck, and I've been I've even been pissed on by dogs.
Details of the 98 shooting were scant, and it was unknown whether anyone was arrested, but one of the sources said Williams was not the intended target. Williams' latest brush with death came at the end of a gang battle that erupted at the courthouse in St. George and ended with a man fatally rammed by a minivan and 5 others arrested.
Like, what a fuck, like, what a, so how'd you die? Well, I got hit by a vehicle. Oh, was it like a Ferrari or like a Land Rover? Something really cool? No, it was a minivan. Get the fuck out. You're not cool enough. No, if you get rammed by like a 4x4 or like a Jeep or a Lamborghini, no, but you minivan pussy, get out.
Members of 2 feuding crews came to blows inside the Central Avenue courthouse at around 11:45 a.m. Tuesday and were given summonses and tossed out by court officers.
See, I can never understand the whole gang life thing because I'm too much of a fucking lone wolf. I mean, I have 6 friends, if you're counting Joe, 6 friends, like close friends, and then some sort of like network of people I really talk to. I can't understand the whole gang thing.
Out on the street, at least one of the gangbangers pulled a knife, and 5 stole and piled into a 2012 Dodge Caravan.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
seriously?
God. We had a Caravan. I think it was like 91 or so. I called it the Wonder Wagon, as in it was.
You were okay. You got your summons to go to court. Now get the fuck out of here. Okay, boom, boom. It's like Planet Grand Theft Auto.
except rather than being in a muscle car, you're in a Dodge Caravan.
Oh god.
With court officers on its tail, the van sped to a nearby Fort Place at Montgomery Avenue,
I didn't know a Dodge Caravan could speed. I thought it had a top speed of 6.
where it plowed into Robert Craigwell, 26, pinning him against a bed and breakfast.
Oh jeez.
I'm dead, and I got pinned between a minivan and a hotel.
Yeah, that guy's all like, "This is not how I want to die."
This is really not. I wanted to die like in a Lamborghini, crashing into a wall and going through heaven on fire.
At least not being pinned by a freaking van against a bed and breakfast.
Yes, I got pinned by a minivan against a hotel. I'm fucked.
Craigwell, an island resident, died at the scene, cops said. The 5 occupants of the van, ages 16 to 24, were taken into custody at the scene. But the bloodshed wasn't over. About 30 minutes later, and a half-mile away, a gunman opened fire on Jersey Street near Hendricks Avenue in what sources say was a retaliation attempt for the fatal van strike.
You're under arrest for what? You bought a Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who buys a Dodge that isn't like a Viper, you're under arrest.
The only person struck was Williams, who was waiting at a bus stop not far from her home. While it wasn't clear whom the shooter was targeting, 3 of the 5 suspects in the van crash are listed as living on Jersey Street.
I'm gonna kill someone. I don't know who, but I'm gonna kill someone.
As of Thursday evening, no arrests have been made in connection with Williams' shooting. Neighbors know Williams as Ms. Franny, a cheerful animal lover who keeps to herself.
I bet she'll be keeping to herself a lot more these days.
Mm-hmm. She's a great person with a great heart. She's always in good spirits and
I don't know how good her heart is anymore.
4 of the van crash suspects, Ilya Baker, 22, Isaiah Black, 20, Tyreek Gomez, 16, and Hassan Ray, 24, were arraigned Thursday in Staten Island Criminal Court on charges of grand larceny, criminal possession of stolen property, and unauthorized use of a vehicle. Crash bail was set at $25,000.
Yay! And then clowns appeared from the sky, clucking like chickens.
The arraignment of the 5th suspect, Prince Edmonds, 19, was slated for Friday.
What's your name? Prince. No. What's your name, son?
As the suspected driver, Edmonds is allegedly charged with manslaughter.
Allegedly charged with manslaughter.
Yeah.
And possession of a shitty minivan. If you buy a minivan, you've given up on
carjacked a minivan.
I hope it's his. If he carjacked it, that's even worse. If it's his or his friends, that's bad enough. But if you carjack it,
no, remember it was stolen. Like as soon as they got out of the courthouse, they stole it.
That's sad. I mean, I know you got to fit 5
there's
people.
Some county clerk there going, "What the fuck happened to my car?"
I know you got to fit 5 people, but fuck. I mean, I would do better than a minivan. See, I would be the worst car thief ever. No, I don't want that. No. Dude,
Study shows the penis size most women actually prefer.
Did I post this or did you? I don't remember. I think I made a joke about this.
Dear male readers, if you ever asked a girl if penis size matters and she said no, I'm afraid to tell you that she was lying. Furthermore, if you asked her how you measure up and she said you're normal or average, she meant small.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
That most certainly means you're bad in bed. You can't make up for it in other areas.
I don't know about that. Let's put it that way. I've never had anyone complain. Let's put it that way. And mine's G.G. Allen size.
According to a recent study, such a thing exists. The ideal penis size.
Oh, I remember.
Is it so surprising that a woman will idolize a male penis size when men are always obviously idolizing female vaginas and boobs?
I remember when I posted this. A woman posted this making fun of it. So yes,
First of all, let's take a quick look at international averages. Okay, so there's a bunch of averages here.
whatever.
Size really does matter. The majority of women surveyed said they had, in fact, rejected a man because his penis size was too small. Yes, my micro dick.
Hey, don't joke about that, because that's actually how I lost my virginity. I was some micro dick's pity lay.
Yeah, well, I see. I get into bed because of brains, and I can make up for it, and
I just got tired of people saying, "Oh, you're a virgin? That's so sad. What the fuck is it your problem? Come on, man." So I got so tired of hearing that, and they were like, "Well, I know a guy," and I was like, "Fine."
Just lie.
I don't know why women just gave it up to me as often as they did. I'm pitiful, but that's all.
I'm pitiful, but I think
able to just somehow get it.
Well, I started out as someone's experiment. Jim knows that story, and then, well, I mean, really, I'm sorry to tell you, I think most of, and I'm not just saying this, but I think the most of the people they pulled were quite vapid because, I didn't get with him because his dick was too small, not because his mind wasn't smart enough or whatever, just his dick was small.
I don't know. The best sex I ever had my entire life was with an Italian dude, but I can't go back there.
The best sex I ever had was when I was off my face on drugs. So that.
The majority of women surveyed also said that they would prefer an average guy with a larger dick than a hot guy with a below average dick.
There you go.
Well, I'm fucked then. Because mine is quite below average.
Yeah, but you weren't that bad.
I'm somewhere around.
You said you weren't that bad looking.
Just gotta ignore the ginormous beer belly.
Oh. Been there, done that.
I'm somewhere around 2.5 to 3 inches. Yay.
Oh, good.
That's not true.
Shit, that's me, so.
There is also a disparity between what men believe is average penis size and what women do.
Well, I remember seeing a while back, there was a study that said that the average male American penis is about the same length as a $20 bill.
Yeah, I'm well below average.
Remember, the ideal dick size is between 6.3 and 6.4 inches, according to the ladies, which is slightly above average.
Well, so, Jim, you never got laid in your life then?
Yeah.
Well, shit, what the fuck have I been doing this whole time?
Apparently, yeah. Dude.
Girth also plays an important role. Long and skinny dick is no good, nor is a beer can.
Mine's...
You don't want to show.
Whatever. So yeah, it's basically, if you believe this person, we're fucked. If we've never had sex in our lives.
Certainly not. That makes me sad.
I guess I'm still a virgin. 15.7 centimeters is what the perceived average length is, and the perceived ideal is 17.3.
Great. So, yeah, whatever.
Yay.
I mean, I've always been told it's how you work it, not just how long it is. But I guess that's an evil commie lie or something.
That's between 5.9 to 6.6 inches.
The U.S. has the biggest disparity in this.
Yeah, we also have a lot of different types of people, so that kind of makes sense.
Well, like I said, every girl I've always talked to said it's how you work it, not just how big it is. It's how you perform.
Yeah, that Italian dude that I did, I mean, like, didn't have much going for it, but just really worked it good. That's why it was good.
So, I mean, if it's just like long and, I mean, then what's...
It doesn't matter.
Exactly. And I've never had anyone complain, except the time I sort of threw up in bed.
The average penis size.
Allison yelled at me for that.
The average penis size is between 5.1 and 5.6 inches.
Well, shit, we're below average too.
Add about another inch, and you've got the ideal dick.
So, Jim,
it's not all out of whack.
You and I apparently actively lowered the human gene pool.
Hey, I do recall actually seeing another article a while back. I'll see if I can find it again, but it talked about, I think it was Daily Mail. They were talking about how ugly men, because they can't have sex very often, have a stronger sperm and are more likely to have babies.
Well,
because you got to make it count.
I haven't had sex in like 5 years, so.
Oh, poor Elliot.
Apparently, I'm going to have a lot of kids or something.
You're just more likely to get somebody knocked up. That's the whole idea of it. It's stupid, though.
It's not that I couldn't. It's just that, I've been busy with, reviewing.
Oh, yeah, sometimes sex takes a back seat. It's fine. I understand that. I'm having trouble getting my own dick up.
Well, I chose to do the long distance thing, and that sort of curbs sex. Yeah. But I'm not complaining. I'm happy.
It's also worth noting that women prefer men with larger dicks for one-night stands.
Well, there you go. I'm not a one-night stand type person.
Me either.
Because I get, like, emotionally attached and shit, and that just doesn't...
it sucks when you fall in love with everybody.
Well, I actually try to like, whenever I talk to someone or whatever and have to, like, spend the night with someone, I do try to form some sort of emotional thing with them, because that's just what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, there's very few people in the world I can actually, like, sleep with in the same bed, even platonically, without some sort of emotional bond to them.
Yeah, I can't. I did sleep with a girl totally platonically once, though. It was quite funny. There was no other bed, and she was like,
this is fucking funny looking at this.
And she said that I take all the covers, which I thought
I do that too.
Which is funny, because I was like, no, you take all the covers. She's like, no, you take all the covers. Like, someone takes all the covers.
Maybe somebody was stealing your covers.
Granted, I'm like a foot taller than her, so I probably took all the covers.
Are you looking at all the different shapes and sizes there, Jim? Because that article is very heavy.
That fucking, the U.S. has, the most average size dicks. And
out of the entire world?
Go
somewhere in fucking California, southern.
Well, fuck you. And then there was the time where I did sort of a dickhead thing, and I was over at Puke's house, and I fell asleep on his bed, and I laid down in such a way that no one can actually get on the bed. So nice. Puke had to sleep on the floor. And I made sure to step on him, because I knew he was sleeping on the floor, because he thought I was asleep, but I wasn't. I made sure to step on him getting out of bed. He's like, okay, not only do you, like, hijack my bed, but you also step on me. And I was like, just being a friend.
The bottom line, men, is that we're totally worried about your dick size. It's not the person attached to the dick that matters.
That's why the woman who posted this was making fun of it, because, okay, so you only want a dick, you don't want an actual person, because I can't have sex.
See, yeah, the emotional attachment is very important when you're having sex with somebody.
But it's not as that. I can't feel any sort of emotions in my nether region without getting what Nurgle from Behemoth calls a brain boner.
There you go.
I can't even do it. I cannot, like, let's say you were right next to me, right? And let's say you were extremely vapid. Even though I've heard you're not necessarily bad looking or whatever, I would feel nothing towards you, because, but you're
just standing beside you. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm just a person existing beside you. I understand that.
And you're talking to me, but if you were really vapid, which you're actually not, but I'll never say that to you. But I'll never actually tell you that, But,
oh yes.
So I I would not feel anything. But if
If you could have a genuine conversation with somebody in something that they're interested in, something that you're interested in, and you guys can play off of each other and just connect, that is an excellent way to start a relationship.
So all of a sudden, I'm thinking, let's take this conversation to the bed, and she's like, and then she takes me literally, and we have a great conversation, and then we have sex.
Want some pillow talk? More people sickened by parasite outbreak linked to McDonald's salad.
Nice.
That's pillow talk.
Wait, which parasite?
More illnesses have been reported across the United States in 2 separate cyclospora outbreaks.
Cyclospores?
Cyclospora.
Oh, I've heard of that before.
Well, you're going to learn something new then.
It's protozoan.
In less than a week, the number of cases reported illness from eating McDonald's salads rose from 61 to 163.
Oh, hell.
Well,
it's nasty critter.
It's McDonald's. What do you expect?
Cyclosporiasis.
The FDA
announced the small intestine. It's not very good. It gives you all kinds of stomach problems.
Good. That's probably what that one chick I sat at the ER had.
I would hope that it actually
sounds because she loves her McDonald's.
It just makes you shit yourself a lot. Basically, gives you stomach cramps and things like that. It's not a very nice thing to have.
See, I would hope that it actually. I don't know if you ever seen the David Cronenberg film Shivers about sex parasites. I hope it works like that, where you eat McDonald's and all of a sudden you get really horny and have to transfer weird worm parasites to people.
Yeah, and that's only going to lead to those internet sites saying McDonald's has a new aphrodisiac in there, yada yada yada.
Great movie, by the way. Go watch it. It's on YouTube.
The FDA announced the latest count Thursday: 163 people in 10 states, which includes 3 hospitalizations and no deaths. The FDA is working with McDonald's to identify the salad ingredients making people sick and to trace them through the supply chain.
Jim,
it's really, really hard to shit yourself to death.
You got dysentery on that damn trail.
So how did you die?
Yeah, but dysentery doesn't actually kill you by shitting yourself. It just basically, kills you because of all the other cumulative stuff.
How did you die? I shat myself to death.
Unless it's cholera. Cholera actually probably will kill you for shitting yourself to death because you can't keep anything in. Cholera is bad.
As a precaution, McDonald's has stopped selling the salads in 3,000 fast food restaurants in 14 states to contain the outbreak.
Good.
Yeah, contain the outbreak.
Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Minnesota, Nebraska, South Dakota, Montana, North Dakota, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Missouri.
Oh, it's the Midwest. Wait, Jim, it's the Midwest. Who cares if they died? They're the Midwest. Fuck it, just sell the salads to everyone. Kill everyone in the Midwest.
It's like the northern half of the United States, really.
Sell.
I'm just going to wait for the Hillary conspiracy theory on this.
No,
right.
Here's what you do: force everyone in the Midwest to eat those salads, kill them, and let's do something fun with the land.
Look, I like food, so the land's got to exist to grow my food.
Yeah, but I just advocated mass murder.
Meanwhile, the CDC reported 237 cases of this shit in people who reportedly consumed Del Monte fresh vegetable trays containing broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, and dill dip.
So you see kids, because I have a weird condition, like I cannot eat vegetables. Like there's potatoes and stuff, but like there's something about the texture of the crunch. I can't do it. It actually
I feel that way about bananas. I hate the way they feel on your mouth, but I like the way they taste.
Trying to explain it to people
it's kind of hard
because no one believes you. No one believes you, and yet
my brother-in-law hates eating strawberries because they have seeds on the outside, and he just doesn't like that.
Yeah, no one fucking believes you, and it's really frustrating.
Help.
So see, kids don't eat vegetables. But yeah, it's frustrating not being believed.
Health officials said there's no evidence to suggest that the cluster of illnesses linked to McDonald's salads is related to the ongoing outbreak linked to Del Monte fresh vegetable trays.
Ooh.
And you eat Del Monte fresh vegetable trays, and then all of a sudden you have to fuck people.
Those infected can experience loss of appetite, weight loss, stomach cramps or pain, nausea, gas and fatigue, vomiting, headache, fever, body aches, and flu-like symptoms.
It's the worst diet in the history of the world, but it gets results.
Thought that was tapeworms.
Maybe they're trying to kill vegans.
Yeah, it might be. That would be great.
Vegans. Vegans everywhere are simply wonderful.
Enjoy your parasites. You're killing an animal now. By getting it out of your body, you have to let it
live.
Eat more meat. Eat more meat.
Mm-hmm. I think that's about all I got here.
All right. This has been the...
Wait, you're not going to do the one with the, what's it, that woman with the vaginal kung fu?
Okay, fine.
That was pretty picture heavy, but it was still funny as fuck.
Can you shoot ping pong balls with your vagina? And there's a picture here of a chick
doing that. Yes.
Wheat out of her vaginal orifice.
I still want to know how she managed to attach that shit inside.
Or maybe she just clamped down that good. Which clamping down that good with your muscles voluntarily, dear fuck, the cock.
I know. Yeah. She's gonna squeeze
it
off you.
It's either going to be expelled or it's going to drain every single last drop of semen until you die from dehydration because you just jerked that much inside.
Yes, we've hit rock bottom here, people.
You would absolutely love it, Elliot. If you could see it, you would want to gouge your eyes out. It was fucking
Why aren't
great.
you screen sharing, you fucker?
I am screen sharing.
Oh.
It's just she can't see the screen share for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Vaginal kung fu. Most women have numb, under-functioning vaginas. Can you shoot ping pong balls with your vagina? If you can't, you aren't alone. 99.9% of women haven't mastered this essential life skill.
I don't know about essential life skill.
To fucking tighten your fucking vaginal muscles to that fine precision.
Honestly, as a child, like in general, if you have a vagina, that you're strictly advised not to stick anything up there that doesn't belong.
Yeah.
So define what doesn't belong as a child.
Well, I mean, like anything that isn't appropriate for as a sex toy or a person, or rather, a person-specific body part.
Hey, person, I'm gonna shove my head up there.
You realize that
I actually had two people come out of my vagina, so I can technically say they do sometimes belong there.
Well, yeah, but I was saying a grown person.
And I have seen a woman jamming her foot inside the piss hole of a cock while a guy was jerking off to it.
Sounding is just terrible. No, thank you.
Okay, no. I just had pain shoot up everywhere.
That is why, literally, the ER sees so many sexual injuries per year. That is why.
I'm not usually squeamish, but that just...
Once you master this art with your vagina, you'll have more and better orgasms and be able to cause your man to ejaculate or not with the power of your vagina alone. You may even learn to ejaculate yourself.
Pussy power.
If a woman is disconnected from her sexuality and her vagina, she is operating at a massive disadvantage. Having a weak vagina exacerbates this problem. You can't tune into your sexual energy and your sexual pleasure if you can't even feel your vagina. Women come to me with no desire for sex. I'm not surprised. All over the world, women are suffering from the debilitating condition of not having enough or any sexual pleasure in their lives.
Oh, I've never had the problem. I mean, like right now, I'm not particularly, having a sex drive, but that's just the brain thing. Like
I
Elliot
don't
was
have a
saying.
sex drive unless I'm with someone. Like if I'm
Right?
with,
Yeah, you need something to set you off.
if I have a girlfriend and she's here, but if I don't, then it just switches off, and
It's part of your body that you don't need at the moment. So whatever.
I don't even masturbate, to be
I
honest.
still got the video of you making the sounds while you're masturbating.
I mean, okay. To the sound of a Lamborghini Countach. No, just kidding. But seriously, I don't mess. It's just people as well. Why don't you? It's like, shit. I'm too busy.
It's not important at the moment. Yeah, it's not important at the moment.
It's not important.
This just in. Elliot's downloaded 2 terabytes of car porn.
Yeah, 2 terabytes of car porn.
And it's just a bunch of cars revving their engines.
Have you ever seen Top Gear? It's basically car
Yes,
porn.
I've seen it. Yes,
yeah, it's basically car porn. But seriously though, I have nothing to do it to or with or whatever, and it's not important. So it's
I get all bought and bothered when you don't really need to. It just takes away from all the other shit.
Exactly, but if Dose was here, I would not be on Swine Brothers right now.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, here we go. The effects of a dull vagina and unfulfilling sex life spill over into everything. Your relationship, your career, your family, your friends. Everything gets pulled into this vortex and affects your quality of life.
Because sex is so important.
It's a vaginal vortex. You just spread your legs open, and all of a sudden,
I'm just imagining.
I might have a new favorite execution method now.
No, I'm just imagining a woman just laying on the bed, spreading her legs open, and like all of a sudden everything gets sucked into her vagina.
I'm like, God damn it, that's the third comforter this week.
Oh God.
Where's the cat? I don't know. And you got your legs stuck together.
You hear coming from the crotch.
I sucked it in.
Oh God, there was an old thing going around where there was this fad going around with gay people called gerbling, where they took a rodent and shoved it through a paper tube up another guy's ass, and its death throes were supposed to be orgasmic inside the guy's ass.
That was a really good episode of South Park.
Yes, it was.
But the one time the guy had an air pocket inside his ass, and the thing wasn't dying; it was just clawing and eating its way out, and he was freaking out. So his partner grabbed a lighter to look inside his ass, and the hamster fucking flew about 20 feet out after the flames
ignited the methane pocket up in his guts.
Now,
I have no idea about the validity of the gerbil cannon, but I love the concept of a gerbil cannon. Gerbil cannons ready, aim, fire.
South Park should have just made that entire episode the song. Fuck the backstory. Just make the entire episode the song.
What was it? There was a frog up in that guy's intestines, right? That was giving him advice.
Yeah, it's been a while.
All the animals that died up there, canary.
All the animals that died because he was the ultimate stereotype of gay people.
Isn't that the one where he also jumped on Paris Hilton's head and absorbed her into his ass? I don't remember. It was Mr. Slave, wasn't it?
I think so.
There was an episode where Kenny was doing all this fucking stupid type shit, and then at the end he was put inside the bus driver's vagina.
It was a fake Kenny, but yeah, because real Kenny had been arrested for blowing Howard Stern.
Well, then she spit out the fake Kenny, and then she also spit out another kid's corpse.
Yes. Yes, that was a funny episode.
She was I don't know how that second one got in
there. Yeah, that was when South Park was actually funny.
When I speak of vaginas that shoot ping pong balls and open beer bottles and win world records, these aren't wild exceptions to what vaginas can do.
And they also have dead sheep as tampons.
And really, what woman wouldn't want to have sex would want to have sex when they can't feel anything. Every woman can do these things.
Full flow tampons. It's the new you. If you don't know what that is, you're a poser.
No, okay. As far as like feeling stuff during sex, I often have problems with that where it's like 0 to 60. I can be having sex for 5, 15, 20 minutes, doesn't matter, and nothing doing, and then all of a sudden, bam, I'm off. And I'm like, what the?
0 to 60 in 20 minutes. That's a shit time.
No, not in 20 minutes. Like, I literally don't feel anything until the very, very end. And it's like,
I just give you
5 seconds I get off, and then, it's fucking weird. It doesn't mean I don't enjoy it, though.
I was just giving you a hard time because
just means it doesn't feel good at first.
Because that's what you're here for. You're here for me to make fun of.
Salon 1, love yourself. Foundational practices for harnessing sexual energy, open to the healing and energizing potential of your vagina. Salon 2, create yourself. Why orgasms are your infinite power source and how to use them to their maximum potential.
Oh, there's an idea. We make a perpetual motion.
Orgasm-powered spaceship.
A perpetual motion or energy generator, but with
so orgasm. You just like lock women into like the fuel and have something connected to them, and
you see
constantly gives them orgasms.
That's like the plot line of like a tentacle hentai porn.
Oh, I know, but it's funny.
Women to just strap them into this device to get all the infinite power out of their orgasms, and their tentacles just keep working them 24/7.
They can't even speak or form any
orgasm. I guess that's my fault.
Out of their vaginal orifice that were like alien impregnation kind of crazy shit.
Yeah, but that's my fault for having a vagina.
They can't even speak or have coherent thoughts anymore because the brain is just ruined. It's literally
you're fried by all the orgasm.
Yes, it's just literally one bit, and then you have like generations of like women who can't think because orgasm, perpetual motion. And
sounds like an incel dream.
It sounds like a weird show idea that I want to create.
Hey, power to you.
Great, you're giving me ideas for scripts, Jim.
Salon 3, rejuvenate yourself. How to shift menstruation and menopause to be energizing and rejuvenating instead of exhausting. Here's one. Salon 4, your breast self. How to make your breasts more sensitive and orgasmic.
I don't even need that.
Man, you already bitch at me because they're too damn sensitive, and I play.
I know! My boobs are terrible, and I hate them. Although they are really nice looking.
Yes, they are, and that's why I like sucking on them.
How do you
pick the pimples off my face?
Great.
No comment.
Salon 5, heal yourself. How to get rid of any genital numbness, shame, or discomfort so you can enjoy pleasure more deeply.
It's
alone
called
or
a
with
belt
a partner.
sander.
Oh, okay. Jen doesn't. How do you put this? I laugh during sex like a lot. And a lot of times that seems like I'm uncomfortable with stuff because I'm being nervous or laughing or whatever, but it's not because I'm literally just laughing at people.
Damn it, I said belt sander. Take a belt sander. Take a belt sander to your vagina. If you don't feel anything after that, graduate to second step, grinder. And if that doesn't work,
can I get a press roller or something like that? Just, roll my whole, lower half into it.
So
right, okay, yeah.
Versus belt sander, then grinder, and then after you mutilated your vagina beyond any possibility of repair, take a blowtorch to it.
Guess I would really look like roast beef at that point.
Yes. This is Elliot's sex guide to what the fuck.
Salon 6, empower yourself. The secret few people know about how to use your feminine and sexual power to amplify your life's work.
Empower yourself.
I was gonna say, so we're manipulating people now.
Vagina that can can do all kinds of crazy muscular shit with a cock inside it. The guy's just like, here's the fucking keys. I don't even
don't do that again. Just don't do that again, please. Please, no.
People.
I'm left here destroyed. And he just can't talk. He's just throwing shit at you because he can't talk.
Throw some axes at people.
Salon features weekly guided jade egg vaginal strengthening practice, guided meditations to heal and reconnect with your sexual and vaginal power and pleasure, weekly core strengthening exercises, bonuses, your vaginal kung fu kit, jade eggs, silk carry pouch, and rose quartz lifting stones.
This is what I was saying earlier about not putting things there that aren't supposed to go there. I am terrified that if I were to shove like a jade egg up my vag, that it would go somewhere and not come back.
Yes, this is incredibly pseudoscientific and weird and woo.
What did Paltrow advocate jade egg shit? I don't remember.
Ejaculation 101. Orgasmic birth. Quick, put the kid back up there. I want to do it again.
I had both my kids without pain medicine. And I was so nauseous from the pain that I was throwing up constantly. I would not call that orgasmic. Like, at all.
Sex position prescriptions. And jing it up.
Yes.
Single, dating, or in a committed relationship? Register today. Learn how you can become a vaginal kung fu master and off-the-charts lover, and to be informed of when this salon will run again. As a bonus, you'll also receive my free 3-part video series.
I wish that my vagina did know kung fu, because then I could like punch people with it.
By the way, I'm just looking this up, and actual reputable sites say this is a very dangerous and stupid thing to do.
Of course. Why the hell would you put something up there and try to carry weights with your vagina? It's not meant for that. It's not that kind of muscle.
The sex industry, or how to do a better orgasm or whatever, is.
Well, I like that the website itself with this vaginal kung fu stuff.
I mean, it's booming.
They don't, they don't make it a fetish though. They just say this will genuinely make your life better, but that's also bad because it doesn't work like that.
You know what make my life better? You know what make my life better? Cyanide capsules.
I just still can't get over this picture. It's like the time that the useless piece of shit was hanging that chair from his ball piercing.
Good fun.
And what happened was the politician's son was completely trashed, looking for a place to sit, and lo and behold, the chair was floating in midair.
Yeah. Oh,
he couldn't figure out why the tree was yelling death threats at him while he was trying to pull the chair out of midair.
Ow!
By the time he realized it was attached to someone's balls, and the useless piece of shit never thought to let go of the tree until after the chair was let go of. Oh,
God, it's gonna hurt.
Like I said, it doesn't work that way. It's not how that works, but it did, unfortunately, and it failed, and that was funny for us.
It gets better because, the useless piece of shit.
Is that the one where the guy started chasing people with the lawn chair attached to his nuts?
Yeah, and he was twirling it around. He was then threw it at him, and it was still attached to his balls.
Nice.
The
shrieks were heard for miles, from what I hear.
Yay, miles.
Yeah, just be nice to your junk, okay? It's the only junk you got, and you don't want to lose it.
Mm-hmm. But dear God, this picture is just like plop. It just brings back
I think we found our thumbnail.
Yeah.
I won't use any views on YouTube because of the algorithm, but I don't care.
Yes.
Fuck the algorithm.
All right, and that's all I got.
All right. This has been the Swine Brothers Show, episode 156 for whatever the date is, the 21st of July, 2018. I say the date, and then I forget it 2 hours later. I have an amazing mind. It's like a fucking sieve. You can email us with questions, comments, death threats, or saying you like fish at cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com, or if you prefer to contact us via Facebook, it's just type in Swine Brothers, and of course Twitter SwineBro666, or of course you can just look on the video description and there's a shitload of links to follow if you'd like to get in touch with us. For Dan, I'm on the resident female. For Jim, the resident Jim. I am your host with a nihilistic god complex, Ellie Lindemood. We'll see you next time. Good night.
I've never been more excited to give head in my life. I love it. I'm more well fucked than I've ever been.